Hello, and thanks for watching. I'm going to start this talk or this little brief expose I'm going to do right now by prefacing it by telling you do not believe one thing that I'm saying right now. I'm only going to talk from my own personal experience and what I have seen over the last several years. And you know what? Maybe it'll just be good entertainment for you. But I have been noticing on Facebook, which I've been spending a little time on, and I connect with a lot of people that I have a lot of respect for their work and the things that they put out there because it's not an entertainment thing for me. It is more of a place where I find others that are like-minded with interests like mine. So that's why I'm on Facebook. But a lot of people that uh, I see on there are posting things about this whole Iranian war that's about to start. And it's actually really making me sick. Uh, I'm feeling very angry about it because I'm recognizing a pattern, and a pattern that goes back to before we got into the Gulf War back in, or when Bush was in, Bush W was elected president. So I'm seeing similarities, and I just want to talk about that right now. So back in 2000, I went to Washington, D.C. with my wife and my family to George Bush's inauguration. And we were pretty excited that he got into office. Remember all the Al Gore hanging Chad business that they were going through and all that charade. Uh, George Bush got elected, and we were like, yeah, we got a Republican in office because of the whole Clinton thing that was going on. And we were sort of really into the left-right paradigm of things and believed that there was a right wing and a left wing, and we didn't realize at the time that it was the same bird. Yeah, they just passed the baton from the left wing to the right wing to the left to the right to the right to the left, whatever. It's like a little dance they do. We didn't realize that at the time. But anyway, I digress. We went to Washington, D.C. because we were super excited about a Christian Republican being in office. So we were pretty jazzed about that. Anyway, we go there, come back. We're all super excited about the fact that they got Christian artists in the White House, and what we thought, uh, when they had all their ceremonies and all this business was all godly. We thought it was all godly and all that. So because as far as we kind of saw from a Christian perspective that the Clintons in the office were just all of the devil, and they had Fleetwood Mac in there who did bad stuff and whatever. So we were pretty excited about George W. Bush being in office, and so fast forward a little bit. I saw 9/11, a 9/11 documentary in about 2006 or 2007. I don't exactly remember the date, but it was called Loose Change 911 on cable access, and I watched the video, and they were trying to tell me that 9/11 was an inside job, and I was like, no, it wasn't. No, that's a bunch of BS. So I just, I turned it off immediately and just rejected it completely. So, but about 6 months later, it was showed up again on cable access, and this time I sat and I watched it, and I'm looking at it thinking, hmm, yeah, that makes sense, or what you're saying looked like it was the way it is, and it was contrary to what was the official story. So I watched the entire thing and I realized that something's way wrong here. So I began to do some research and looking around on Google and finding other people that have come to the realization that an airplane didn't hit the Pentagon, and three buildings came down on 9/11 instead of two. When there's two airplanes, three buildings come down. How does that all work? And so found out that the president that we had wasn't who I thought he was, and it really rocked my world which caused me to really just kind of take the red pill and go deep down the rabbit hole and really start looking for, okay, wait a minute here, what's going on here? Anyway, I'm noticing a pattern right now that there are so many people that are like so Trump supporters, and Trump is such a good guy, and he's got all these Christian people around him, and they're in the Oval Office and they're praying for him. I'm like, I've seen this before, and it kind of makes me sick. I can feel it inside. Something is way wrong, and I just wanted to make this video about this. So I found a video recently, and I've seen it several times in the past, and it was General Wesley Clarke, who high-level military guy, general, nothing gets past the general. They're at the top of the top. But he's saying in an interview that, okay, here's the deal. We're going to war with Iraq. We're going to war with Syria, Libya, etc., etc. And he ended it by saying we're going to war with Iran. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Well, here we go. We're going to war with Iran. And it was talked about back in the 2000, the first decade of the 2000. And here we go. Now we got all this supposed approval of Donald Trump, and you know what? The Christians are backing him, and blah 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 blah. But here we go. We're sending troops over to Iran, and we allegedly killed their high level people, and this ain't looking good. And it really makes me mad because our people, our soldiers, our men and women are going to get maimed, killed. They're going to come back here as amputees. Families are going to be messed up and destroyed. We got innocent families overseas in Iraq that are going to be, or I'm sorry, Iran, that are going to be destroyed. Children like yours and mine, grandchildren like yours and mine, are going to be wasted over what? It's my understanding that they've got tremendous amounts of resources over there, and I guess the United States corporation wants to grab it, or whatever the case might be. They got a different banking system over there. It looks like we got to go democratize their country. For what? So anyways, they're feeding us a bunch of propaganda like, oh, Iran's doing this, Iran's doing that, and oh, we got to get them. Yeah, we got to get them. Well, something's way wrong here. And like I said, don't believe a word I'm saying. I know nothing. I'm just a regular guy. But I was pretty mystified at the fact that, the guy that I was supporting back in 2000 till 2007, I thought he was a good guy. And I realized that, oh, okay, there's more going on behind the scenes that I didn't know about. And something's way wrong right now. I know that, and I'm not going to, look, you know what? I'm not saying Donald Trump is like a Hitler, but Hitler was very, very approved of prior to the atrocities that were going on. I can't even begin to talk about what's going on with what went on back there in the Hitler era, but he looked good. He was doing good things for the country. It's kind of looking that way here. Donald Trump looks really good in a lot of ways. I don't follow politics. I hear bits and pieces because I don't watch the sewer pipe of CNN or Fox or any of that stuff, because it is just straight propaganda. I don't do that. But call me opinionated, call me a tinfoil hat guy, whatever, doesn't matter to me. All I know is what I've watched, what I've studied, and things aren't adding up here. And if you've learned anything from what I'm saying right now, it could be just that pay attention. Maybe do some research. Look around. Look at some past history. Look at false flag. Google false flag and start looking at what a false flag is. 9/11 was propaganda to get the American people rallied around so they could go to war. Right now, they're just creating some sort of events so the American people can go, yeah, let's get them. We did that. You know what? The same day, within hours, they're like, oh, here's the enemy. They had a picture of Osama bin Laden. But ask yourself, why in the world did they go after Saddam Hussein shortly after they showed you the picture of Osama bin Laden? Oh, yeah, this is the guy who did this. Let's go kill Saddam Hussein. Yeah, I'm not quite understanding that. But who am I? I'm just asking questions, trying to make sense of what's going on. But I do believe that this whole Iran war is not a right thing. We're going after people that, whatever they're trying to do, we're going to waste another country. And for what? Iraq still is trying to get their act together after we decimated their country and killed hundreds of thousands of their families and children and grandchildren. And it's not okay. So, there's my rant for today. Yeah, don't believe everything you hear, because what you've been told and taught from kindergarten on isn't really the way it is. They gave you what to think. And if you've ever sat in front of a TV, they're telling you what to think. They tell you what to buy. They tell you what to think. They tell you what to do. It's pretty sick. So I'm just saying, think for yourself. We're going to war with Iran. A lot of people are going to get hurt, killed, and there's going to be a lot of sadness in the guise of defeating some sort of an enemy, and that's not the case. We have an enemy within here in the United States. And may I just mention that the United States is a corporation. It's not what we thought the United States of America is. And that was a rude awakening for me in 2011. I learned that the United States is a corporation. I was thinking, or was under the impression, that the United States of America was what I thought, and the United States of America, just like the several states is what they call it. But no, it's a for-profit company, and they use war and violence to make money. So it's quite insidious. I'm not happy about it, but if anything, like I said, don't believe one thing that I said. We can call this for entertainment purposes only. You can laugh at me, whatever it is, but you know what? Google building number 7. You don't Google United States Corporation. Look at the U.S. code. See what it says. U.S. code does say the United States is a corporation. And what does a corporation do? They want to make money. That's their goal. So, and you wonder why people are so upset with the United States that they can't get what they want or what they need, or why aren't they helping the people? You know, if you were to go to Walmart or to McDonald's and make some demands on them to fix this, do this, you know, they really don't have to listen to you, because you are not part of the corporation. They're going to do what is expedient for the corporation and for the shareholders of the corporation. And in our case, the United States of America Corporation, or the United States Corporation, it's the shareholders or the bankers or whoever else that is behind the scenes that you don't even know about. None of the front men like Donald Trump and anybody in Congress. They're going to make decisions for the corporation, not for you, because you're just a customer. You're a customer. Think about that for a minute. You are a customer. Huh. In fact, let's expand on this a little bit. we Americans are Americans. We're here on the land, and there's this corporation that's in operation that is outside of America, which really that makes them foreign. United States corporation employees, that means all of these alleged Senate, House of Representatives, the president, these people are foreign to the United States. They're foreigners. In fact, I'd go as far as to say is I think that they're illegal to the United States. Process that for a moment. So everybody in Congress and in the House, the Senate, the executive branch, the judicial branch, all these people are foreign to the United States of America. It ain't what you think, folks. It's not what you think. So the information is out there. You just have to look for it. But they're showing you like this theatrical illusion circus to keep you in the left-right paradigm of the right-wing, left-wing bird. You know, somebody else is pulling the string of the bird, and then you just, if you're not careful, you're just buying it. You're going to go wear your I vote sticker and go, yeah, I participated in the illusion. Is this hard saying? Yeah, it is. I didn't like it either. But it's the truth. You need to know the truth. So anyway, have a good day.